Understand me? Listen to what I'm telling you. Enough for the violence with the youths them. Let me teach the youths and them righteousness. Let us be our leaders for the youths them. What kind of foolishness our so-called leaders are dealing with. So we can only see early when it's election time. Do not come around my place for election time. That is when I am most aggressive. I'm telling you right now. Because don't help out the situation for the poor. You know how much youths who have in a library and
Trinidad and Tobago recently secured a 30-year for the Dragon gas field, making a significant milestone in their energy relationship. Signed in December 2023, this government allows Trinidad to explore and export natural gas from Venezuela's reserve, estimated at 4.2 trillion cubic feet. The deal, which follows 7 years of negotiation hindered by US sanctions, involves Trinidad's national gas company and Shell as operators. Initial production is projected at 185 million cubic feet per day, with output expected in 2 years if investment proceed positively.
Trinidad and Tobago's historic gas deal signed with Venezuela last month puts the country in a position to boost its presence in the gas industry. The sentiment of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley as he addressed the nation on Sunday night. The gas deal, which was signed on August 25th, sees this country accessing gas from Venezuela's Dragon gas field. Dr. Rowley said the deal benefits Trinidad and Tobago while offering Venezuela an opportunity to meet its own needs.
These reserves are economically and logistically more marketable from Trinidad than from Venezuela. Success in such an initiative would provide an extension of our involvement in the gas business, while it provides opportunity for Venezuela to monetize some of its gas, which otherwise would not get to market in any foreseeable time frame.
CNN can now confirmed that President Trump asked a number of his top foreign policy advisors last summer about the possibility of invading Venezuela. I remember this moment last summer when the president in public said that military options were on the table, and that was enough for some people to be taken aback, saying, what, military options for Venezuela? But here you have, I mean, even this is quite a military option, invasion. Let's bring in CNN intelligence and security analyst. He's also a former CIA operative, Bob Baer. Bob, so the president, the White House is saying he was just thinking out loud here, but the president apparently took it seriously enough to go to other Latin American leaders and raise the idea of a U.S. invasion of Venezuela. You've been around government a while. How unusual is it for a president to raise that in this context?
Very unusual. It's very sensitive in South America, of course, Jim.
Energy and Energy Industries Minister Stuart Young and Venezuela's Minister of Petroleum and President of PDVSA, Pedro Telecha, signed the document on behalf of their respective governments. What it means now is Trinidad and Tobago can resume doing business related to the Dragon gas field. PDVSA has found reserves of 4.2 trillion cubic feet in the Dragon field on the Venezuelan side of its maritime border with Trinidad. The project stalled about 10 years ago because of a lack of capital and investors as well as U.S. sanctions. The Office of Foreign Affairs Control of the U.S. Treasury Department, in charge of enforcing sanctions, authorized this country to exploit the field on the condition it does not pay a single dollar to Venezuela. The Dragon field is located in the northeast of Venezuela, near the maritime border with Trinidad and Tobago, adjacent to Trinidadian fields currently operated by British transnational Shell. At the signing ceremony at the Miraflores Presidential Palace in Caracas, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro said the next step would be to sign agreements for the joint exploitation of the shared Laurel and Manatee fields in Trinidad and Tobago. Shell has interests in Laurel and Manatee. The president also issued an invitation for Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to visit Venezuela. Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
Mr. Ramar, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, JW.
Good morning to you. Listen, obviously elections, that's a domestic affair, but when it comes to Venezuela, there are obviously external implications. I'm looking at the commentary from economist Dr. Ralph Henry. He says the natural gas deals up in the air. Many are a bit nervous because of the unrest and the fact that what at least international bodies are calling the election unfair, moving of the goalpost, as it were. What's your take? I mean, despite the internal politics of Venezuela and what's happening right now and the ground is a bit hot, what does this say concerning the deals, the handshakes, all the memoranda and all the signings that we would have seen in the months before? Is it, as Dr. Henry suggests, truly up in the air?
I'm having a bit of difficulty hearing you, but I'm hearing you. You're quoting Ralph Henry there.
Yeah, he says the gas deal is up in the air.
Okay, good. Well, we all know what has happened. There was an election on Sunday where the results of the election were announced that the incumbent had won a third term, and that those results have been disputed, heavily disputed by the opposition, who believe that they won about 70% of the votes. I've seen reports where opposition people say it could be more than 70%. They believe they won by a landslide. The repercussions of political instability in Venezuela are well known to us here in Trinidad and in the region. The first issue to deal with, of course, is that the current government of Trinidad and Tobago has placed a heavy emphasis since 2016, 9 years now, 8 years. They have been pursuing natural gas from Venezuela as a solution to our declining natural gas reserves, declining natural gas production in Trinidad and Tobago. And here we are, 8 years later, we've signed 2 licenses with Venezuela. Those licenses were signed, one was signed in, I think, December 2023, and the other one was signed quite recently in, I think, June or July 2024. We need that natural gas, of course, because, when you look at the case that is made for natural gas from Venezuela coming to Trinidad, it's quite a strong case, given the fact that Venezuela has this abundance of natural gas, and we have this shortage. They have, collectively about 200 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, some of which sits very close to Trinidad and Tobago. So from that perspective, it makes perfect sense. However, there is always the attached political risk of doing business with Venezuela. I have been dealing with Venezuela since my days in the private sector, prior to me going into government in 2010. And back then it was challenging. It was a challenging business environment. So now, here we are, many years later, it's even more challenging. So will what is happening in Venezuela affect the natural gas licenses that were signed by the government of Trinidad and Tobago? Certainly, the government will argue that they have licenses, and those licenses are commitments by the Venezuelan government to Trinidad and Tobago and to companies like BP, Shell, and NGC to go ahead and to explore and to produce natural gas from their waters. But you must remember that those licenses were granted in the environment of a carve-out by the United States, exemptions that the U.S. has placed on Venezuela, and those exemptions were for a 2-year period. And those exemptions were largely due to what happened in Barbados, the Barbados Agreement, which happened, I think, in October 2023, where Venezuela, the current Venezuelan government, and the opposition committed to a roadmap to free and fair elections. Clearly, that has now been totally, shredded. And if you read what is coming out of the White House, if you read what is coming out from Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden and people like Brazilian President Lula da Silva, they are all calling for the release of, the detailed polling information. President Biden, the two leaders, Biden and Lula, agreed that it should be the full release of all polling information and so on. So many of the countries in the world, Venezuela has cut diplomatic ties with 7 Latin American countries yesterday who questioned the validity of the election. So there's that political instability. It has gone now to a fever pitch in Venezuela. Will it affect these natural gas licenses that we signed with these companies? Yes, it will. We don't have a firm date of when any drilling activity would start in those blocks. That is Dragon and Corina Mannequin. Will the Manatee project, so there are 3 separate projects. One is the Dragon project, which is gas completely in Venezuela's water. There is the Loran Manatee project, where the Manatee side resides in our water. That project, in my respectful view, will not be affected, Manatee, because Manatee is in our water. And Shell has already pulled the investment trigger on that. The Corina Mannequin is cross-border. That could be affected because it's cross-border. So that is the political instability would lead to this uncertainty, greater uncertainty with those projects. We need those projects, of course, because our gas production is now at 2.5 million cubic feet of gas per day, which is a 20-year low, and it is projected to get worse in the next 2 or 3 years before the Manatee gas comes on in 2027, late 2027, early 2028 or thereabouts. The other issue is the issue which is more in our face straight away, which is the issue that we have a Venezuelan migrant issue in this country.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon to everyone that is joining us on this live this afternoon. My name is Rene Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live from the Workers' Rights Network. Now, we had was to play out that whole onslaught of information just a while back. Because we believe here that Trinidad and Tobago is in a dire state watching the outcome of this election. The election would have taken place on the 28th of July 2024, and we would have seen massive protests in Venezuela that is just about 7 miles away from Trinidad. And we would have, in times gone by, we would have been experiencing a heavy influx of Venezuelans within our country. Many of you would have been talking about some of them you could get cheap labor. Some of them that, you know, they're getting underpaid, the closing down certain aspect of certain works for Trinidadians and opportunities, a matter of fact. But we must understand that this year is a real situation. When we would have talked about our economy that is based on oil, is that our economy here in Trinidad and Tobago are depending on that gas deal when the Prime Minister would have closed down this thing that we call Petrotrin, the life of Trinidad and Tobago. And without further ado, I don't want to stay too long because we have a very important guest in which will be joining us today. And I'm going to pass you over now to the co-host, Ms. Candice Edwards.
Pleasant good night, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Candice Edwards, and we are here tonight to invite you guys to tune in on our program. Right? It is very informative, and I would like a friend to tell a friend to continue to tune in because we will be coming with some important topics that you and I should be concerned about, because seeing that we are in partnership with the Venezuelan government, we need to pay close attention as to what is taking place over there. Because what is taking place over there could, I'm not wishing, could happen in Trinidad. So tonight we have a guest, right? Mr. Paru Maraj, okay? And he's here to enlighten us as to some of the situation that is taking place in Venezuela, right? So I'm going to see if I can reach him so that he can come on and share with us.
Right, while we are waiting on that, we waited until Candice would have sent the link for him so he could join us, a Venezuelan national. Now, of course, as we would have placed in the thumbnail, that according to election result, it would have shown that Nicolas Maduro was the winner with 51.2%. And Edmundo Gonzalez have 44.2%. Of course, there are many of you outside there. There are people that is disputing that fact outside there. And we would have seen a lot of people that would have taken to the streets. But what is more importantly about this factor, in which we would have received intelligence from people, or from nationals, a matter of fact, from the Venezuelan community, is the heavy presence of CIA operatives in Venezuela. And that is a fact that we cannot deny. So without further ado, whilst we wait on Ms. Candice Edwards,
yes, I'm waiting.
I'll go in and put this thing up on the screen here for you to see.
right, he said he's on.
Yeah, all right, just now.
Guys, just bear with us a bit.
I ain't seen him.
Just now, I sent him the link. I don't know what's happening. Just let me check. Just hold on. You know that in a little distance from here to over there.
Right, people, as we were saying. Now we are going to put this thing up on the screen here for you while we wait on Miss Candice. Candice, just say when, and we will get back onto you. As for now, people of Trinidad and Tobago, there is a high percentage of CIA operative that would have been there in the area in that country in which you must know about, or which we think that you should know about.
All right, we have Mr. Benson, we have Paru Maraj on the other line. Pleasant good night, Mr. Paru.
Just so, Miss Candice, we...
Hold on.
While we waiting on the guest, we don't patch him up into the system. We go down patch him up into the system.
All right, hold on.
Such is the case.
Oh, we lost him?
So we lost him there, Candice?
Yes. Let me go back on YouTube and take on WhatsApp and see if I can find out what's the thing.
Right, he's there.
Yes, I'm here.
Right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
What? You could start by a formal introduction. I mean, Miss Candice, would I invite you on our show tonight? This is the Workers' Rights Human Rights Platform. I and Miss Candice Edwards are the hosts on this program. Now, we would like to know from you as to the political climate from Venezuela and what is the real feel on the ground over there.
Hello. Yes, good evening.
Yes, we would like to know the political climate over there and what is the reason for all this unrest in Venezuela, seeing that you are national from there.
Yes, I'm a nationalized, I'm born Trinidadian, and I left for Trinidad when I was almost 14 years of age, and now I'm a national Venezuelan and Trinidadian as well in Venezuela. I was educated here in Venezuela as a medical doctor, medical specialist as well, and right by the government here in Venezuela. Right now, currently, the situation here in Venezuela is very tense politically. It's very tense, right? There's a lot of tension in the air, but as how the news is showing that there is violence, that is not true. There are protests, but not violent protests. The situation is that the opposition has always claimed that they win, something that is very common. They always win, right? And for the past years here, the local government is doing their work, and yet there is a lot of blockage from the outside. Just take in mind as in consideration, I am neutral. I am not for the government or against the government or for any political party here, right? I'm just saying what is the reality here. For the past years, we have suffered here a lot in economically and all ways of that the civilian or the Venezuelans have here by blockage, or external blockage from the, I do not know if I say the right word, blockage you say, no?
Yeah,
blockage,
correct word.
Right? How you call it?
Blockage. We could go with that word, we understand.
Yes, a blockage from external. There is no entrance of medications or machinery or a lot of stuff. So we have that economical problems. And not only there's corruption all over the place. Here as well, we have corruption, right? And that is what is the situation here. Now, the part is the opposition does not want to accept the reality. And I cannot say that the government has done fraud because I don't have any evidence of that. You cannot say you something that you don't have evidence, no? Right?
Now, we would have heard that the process for election over there is a very fair one. And what the opposition are claiming is through the exit polls. I'm talking too fast. Tell me. Right. It says through the exit polls they would have obtained data that they would have won the election. And we would have known that there is a massive CIA presence in Venezuela.
Yes. There is a lot of foreign spies here in the country. Even in Trinidad too, you have that because let's be clear. The CIA is here, has their eyes on it, on this country because of the oil. Just a few weeks ago, we found I don't know how you say a big oil well, but half the size of Trinidad, and we cannot calculate as yet how much oil is there. So the CIA or the Americans, we cannot say American citizens, but the government has a lot of interest in getting here in Venezuela. Now, the fair elections, there's an election system. I don't know the election system in Trinidad, but the system, you go in, you with your ID card, you get on a list, then you get a first fingerprint list. You check your fingerprint. I don't know, that's an ID fingerprint you got, right? Then you go to the voting box. Then the voting box is very clear. In the voting box, and then you sign and you put your fingerprint on a book, your physical fingerprint, not electronic. The electronic is entering. So I cannot see where there is unfairness or where there can be fraud committed there. Take in mind, I'm not taking from the government or for the opposition. I'm not, right? But this is the process that they do. You select who you vote for and you press the button. That's all. Now, technology here, I've been in Trinidad a couple of months ago, and I see the paying technology. They don't have what the technology that we have here in Venezuela that does not exist. For example, you can pay in the groceries with your fingerprint and also vote with your fingerprint. You can pay anywhere you want to go with your fingerprint or a mobile text message, and you get that. That does not exist in Trinidad. So I don't know how they can say that there is fraud of the elections. I don't know. I cannot say that there is fraud or not because I don't have any evidence of that. Excuse my English because I was not educated in Trinidad. I was educated in Venezuela.
No, you're doing a perfect job.
You're doing a good job.
Now,
yes.
no, with that, now what you're saying then, judging from what you're speaking and from what I'm getting from you, the wars that the broadcasting on social media, that the world is showing the people and things, the world is showing that don't exist in Venezuela. Is that what you are saying?
Repeat again to the question.
The thing that the altercation that you're seeing on social media, that don't exist presently in Venezuela now.
For the first 3 days, there was protesting, and how you say, the opposition people, when they get the news, they were trying to make violence. If you throw a stone, let's say a police car is passing in Trinidad, and you throw a stone on it, what do you expect to happen? This police to wave at you goodbye or say hello to you? No. Or the police come to you? Now, right. They say he have no human rights. Man, I cannot curse the president or the prime minister in Trinidad and get away with that on social media. And it is happening here. And I don't know how they say here does not have freedom of rights. The things that I'm seeing, what is going on, right? The first 3 days, they were breaking up statues, and the opposition leaders inciting, provoking or calling manifestations, is the violent protest, the words that she is using, violent protests. You can protest here. There's no problem with that here. You can protest, but protest peacefully. That is accepted, right? Those videos that you are seeing is from, what is violence, is from 2008, 2012, when Capriles and Capriles Radolsky, who was the major guy who had provoked violence in Venezuela, right? Capriles Radolsky, I think his name is, and Guaido, who claimed to be president of Venezuela, right? So those guys made those videos was taken and now being replaced and played again by social media, who is against the government, and mounting up photographs. And there's mounting up photograph that there is a high protest and people is against the government. Look at it good, study it good. Look at the old time, investigate the videos yourself. I'm not telling you believe everything I say. No, don't believe me. Just you look up and you see 2008, 2009, 2002, where violence.
We have a little stick in there. Because the gentleman is calling from.
Of the videos
he's calling from Venezuela.
That's what you are seeing.
Hello.
Hello. Param?
Yes, I just get cut off.
Yeah.
Most of the videos you are seeing are very old videos.
Okay.
Right?
So
right now.
So that atmosphere they're trying to push to the world, we're saying that it could be a form of social engineering.
Yes, that's true. Right now, with the city where I am.
I'm not seeing him.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm loud and clear.
Okay, so what Dr. Paru is explaining to us is that what we've seen on social media is a lie, right? He said that those were instances, situations that would have taken place way back when, and the media is trying to make it look like there's, uprising in Venezuela. He also said that yes, there is protest, but there is not violent protests. Right? So we would have lost him.
No,
I'm here.
He's still there on the line.
He's still on the line, but I'm not seeing him. Right? Right? So he's explaining that to us. So Dr. Param, could you continue?
Yes. Let me, in the state where I am, in Monagas, let's put it this way.
I'm not hearing
Here, you hear me now? You hear me?
Yes, we heard you.
Okay. There's laws now. All police service has to, or police, military, secret police, in scientific police here, are very trained. They receive training from the US, they receive training from Canada, they receive training from Russia, France, even from Brazil as well. But most of the training was done in the United States, mostly the army here, right? And things was getting out of hand with criminals here, and they got away. Now, the government have took measurements that you don't last 28 days here. They catch you immediately. They have a very high intelligence here. Now, I can compare, I can say as a Trinidadian and a Venezuelan, that Venezuela is much more safer than Trinidad and Tobago. Right? It's a fact. It's a fact. Okay.
Why will say that the expertise they have over there more sophisticated than us down here?
Yes, I am sure of that by the scientific ways that they do police work here, military work here. Right? They find you out very fast. I see in Trinidad and Tobago that still is going on stealing of a cellular phone, right? Mm-hmm. And people get away with it. Here you steal a cellular phone, they find you immediately. You don't last 24 hours with a stolen phone or you find a phone, you just turn it in or leave it right there. You see? So it's a very high investigation here they make. So violence here is not tolerated. Being violent to a woman or raping a woman or killing a child is a severe crime here, a very severe. You can see child abuse in Trinidad. You can see children or women being abused, and that is some years in jail. Here, you go to prison, you're not sure to come out, right? But the prison system here is bad. Let's be clear with that, right? But otherwise, to be in the streets on Venezuela is very safe. Very safe right now in Venezuela to be on the streets.
No, I'd ask you a question. Yeah. Now, you would have said the oil reserve that they would have found just a while back is big like Trinidad.
Half the size of Trinidad. They cannot calculate it as yet. Wow. Cannot get calculation. That's to show you how big it is. They found it in a state you call Sucre. It's close to Trinidad. That's a part you can see by boat. It's about 2.5 hours to Trinidad. No. So we have here other material like gold, diamonds, and things like that. Now you might say, "Oh, Dr. Paru is saying we have all this richness here." Yes, we have it, and the people are suffering. Why? Because we cannot sell our oil, we cannot sell our diamonds, and we cannot sell our gold. Right? We cannot. And yet there is foreign interference with all the economical parts here in Venezuela.
Because that was the next question I would have asked you. So why people migrating from Venezuela to Trinidad? Most of them.
Most of them, they're migrated. That's the question I was waiting for. As I said, the blockage, the foreign interference. I work in a hospital in Manuel Nunez Tovar in the COVID time. We did not have any medication or not even a syringe to use. When we asked the United Nations for help,
What's that? I know they would. I know they would try to. Mm-hmm.
So, hello.
Yes, hello. We seen you.
You hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. You're the top of the United Nations.
Yes. we asked help from the United Nations, and they did not give us the help that we need. There also was like the Red Cross and other organization, world organization, sent materials to us, medical supply, and was stopped by foreigners, by foreign warships. Cannot enter in the country in that time. So where there's the
Oh, you bear with us? Bear with us, because this is important information that many of you needs to hear. Now, the gentleman is in Venezuela at this point in time. The gentleman is in Venezuela at this point in time, and right now, Candice, we would have lost him.
Well, I wasn't seeing him. I wasn't even.
No, well, I seen him coming back here on air.
Should I
yes,
log out?
I'm on air. Yes, hello.
Because I'm not hearing him, and I wouldn't be able to ask him questions if I can't.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, I'm listening.
Yes, I think the line is breaking up. I think there's sabotage or something like that.
Well, it had to be, because between me and you start off giving us a very important piece of information where people would have, the Red Cross would have started to give aid and these kind of things, and it was blocked by the warship, and the rest of the world are not hearing things like this, because they would have put Maduro in a type of light as if he's a dictator, and he don't want nothing good for his people. That is what people are saying. But there are certain videos that we are seeing that would have came out from social media in which people running and hugging up Maduro. I don't understand this.
Right. Let me tell you something. Before, health was not free. Education was not free. And that was not convenient for private institutions. So the government, Maduro and Chavez, the ex-president Chavez, he placed health for free, education for free, and that was not convenient to an elite and certain people. But now you can go, you ask permission to speak to Maduro, and you make your appointment, you speak to him, you have people to help you. Here in Venezuela, we have something they call Mission Vivienda, house mission, right? The government give people houses here. At this point in time, no, it's not activated right now. Not activated, that system right now. But how many people have benefit from having a home who has never had a home? And you can tell me that is dictatorship? No. I left Trinidad with a slipper, short pants, and a jersey on a fishing boat, right? Mm-hmm. I came to Venezuela. I spent almost 2 weeks living on the streets. I did not speak the language. And the people was speaking to me about, I didn't know what they were saying. I did not know what they're saying. And a guy came and translate for me English, from English into Spanish, and the other people give me clothes, they give me where to stay, where to work, and I was sent to school. Do you think dictatorship does that for their citizens?
No.
No.
No, they don't do that. They don't send you, they don't say, hey, foreigner. They say, hey, Parum, you are Trinidadian, you get out. No, they say, hey, Parum, you're Trinidadian, come, study, and study very hard. When I started medicine school, I thought I had was to pay for medical school. And I didn't believe, being inside medical school, I didn't believe that I have medical school for free until I graduated as a medical doctor. And then after they say, hey, you cannot stay as a medical doctor, you have to go on studying. Go on. Does a dictating country or a country who always have a dictator does that for its citizens? The Trinidad, Venezuela adopted me. Do a dictator country adopt a foreigner?
No.
Okay, I'm not for Maduro. I do not support Maduro.
And this will,
Oh.
right, we get you back,
Yes.
we get you back.
Yes, as I say, I do not support Maduro. I do not support the opposition. I'm just neutral. But dictator, when the word dictator means you have what I say goes, but he has laws. Laws that dictator don't put law. Dictator says what I say, you do.
So
right?
what support the opposition gain? Edmundo Gonzalez, what kind of support? How do people feel them on the ground? Because you would have painted a picture for me just now there that some of the things that we are seeing in social media are things from in times past. What type of support Edmund Gonzalez are gaining from the ground?
When you say gaining from the ground, gaining from the
people,
he has his followers. Yes, he has his followers. Everybody has their everything. The PNM and UNC has their followers. He has his followers, right? And that's something natural, right? But don't tell lies. Now, if you look at Maria Corina's and all her speeches and things like that, who does more talking or speaking on the campaign, the election campaign? Maria Corina's, not Edmundo Gonzalez, right? So Edmundo Gonzalez, he's just there when they, let's say, win elections, who will take over? Maria Corina's. And if you look at this, I am particularly hurt by what went on in Gaza. And Maria Corina's is supporting 100% Israel, right? So I'm not deviating or diverting from the topic. You understand? But I cannot support a person who supports terrorism or support killing women and children. I'm not supporting it. I'm not Muslim, right? I'm not Muslim to support Gaza. I'm just a human being, right?
No.
From Venezuela, and the Red Cross as well. If you look in Gaza, medical doctors were killed. You understand? So I cannot support a person who supports killing people. So Maria Corina.
People again, bear with us. Bear with us. This call is coming straight from Venezuela. And the gentleman there would have been somebody that are living in Venezuela presently and would have consented to give us this interview here tonight. Right, yeah, back on.
I'm on. Hello.
Yes, we are hearing you.
Yes, I am asked. I saw how you call that, a meeting where Maria Corina asked the United States to come in and invade Venezuela with bullets. What mind are you asking? What mind do you have to ask another country to invade your country? You do that in the United States, that's treason. And Maduro and Chavez, they put her in prison. No. So if there were dictators, really should be been in prison already, but right, by just making that declaration.
Let me ask a question, Paru. I heard on the Venezuelan news that they were saying that they had to flee for their lives. The two opposition leaders, the female and the male, they had to flee for their life, and the man was abducted. Was that true?
They say that they were flee for their lives. I sure they come out right now. I have friends with strong political party, and today we had lunch together in public.
Okay.
Okay, so they will try to make up stories, old stories, and to how you say to be victim. Look, for example, Juan Guaidó. I don't know if you know about Juan Guaidó, who
Yes.
declared himself president of Venezuela, autoproclamation, right? Was he arrested? No, he was not arrested. He walks the street normally, and then they say he left the country and he calls the United States and I think the UK to took tons of gold from Venezuela reserve. So these people, they're hiding. There were not any abduction or anything like that. Yes, there were videos on TikTok that people was, how you say, provoking violence widely and calling on other people to be violent on TikTok. And yes, they were arrested by the special force police here. That's a crime. If you go, Miss Candice, and you say provoking or stimulating violence in Trinidad and Tobago, would you be free or would you go to jail?
Go to jail.
Right. It's a crime all over the place. Right.
All right. So
Here,
let me ask another question. The military, how does they stand on this protesting? Because I would have seen some of them, or well, police officers, Venezuelan officers, would have been taking off their uniform and joining the protests. On TikTok, they would have shown a caption of that. Is that true?
I don't know if it's true, but if that happens, that's against the law. And if it happens, he has to save himself from violent people. Right? Because really and truly, what is going on? Okay, I'm a police officer. I see violence there. I have to cool down. I'm not stupid to get hurt by people. I take off my uniform because I'm outnumbered. You understand? A police officer.
But the caption was showing that officers of the defense force were taking off their uniform and joining the protest against Maduro.
Oh.
Yes, that is what I saw on TikTok.
What you saw on TikTok? Well, I did not see the video. I heard the video, yes, but I did not see the video. If you are outnumbered, what would you do?
Okay.
Right. That's one. For a military officer to take off his clothes, that's a crime. That's a serious offense here, anywhere in the world. Now, if you are in life and death situation, what would you? You cannot.
Okay.
Why there is tear gas or I don't know how you call that other in English for rioting? Why it was made, right? Here you don't. For the army to get out on the road, you have to have serious issues on the road. Serious issues. When I say serious issues, very serious. And here you don't see in Maturin, where I am, you don't see soldiers on the road. What you see is Guardia Nacional, National Guard, who is to make prevention and make prevention of a small group of people who goes and wants to create violence. It's a small group of people. There was meeting before elections where Maria Corina came in and Edmundo Gonzalez came in, and they had the followers. But when you see on television, I went to the how you say, the rally you call it? I went to the rally myself. I wanted to see who is Maria Corina, right? For myself. And the amount of people is small. But when I look at television, the television is big. The rally is big on television. You understand? So there is not truth, transparent truth about what's going on in Venezuela unless you are here. You are here in Venezuela, right? I cannot make opinion of other countries using the media. You understand?
Yeah, we understand.
I cannot make that. You have to be in the country to witness and see what's going on, and don't take side. Be partial, and you will see the truth for yourself.
All right, because we would have seen stuff taking place on the YouTube, and it had us a bit concerned, right? So that is the reason why you are here tonight to try and clear up some stuff for us, because in our mind Israel, bombing and shooting and people losing their lives, hospital being blown up, schools are being blown up. In our mind, that is what is taking place. So tonight you would have cleared up so much for us.
Say that I didn't hear that hospital being blown up.
Yeah, with what we would have seen on the social media, we was in our minds when we saw all the commotion, we thought it was real war, real resilience taking place in Venezuela.
No hospital has been blown up here, not one.
Okay.
Mostly, what happened here is all medical personnel, when I say all medical personnel, was prepared in the hospital for violence.
Okay.
Right? That's what went to happen. I am trained in the area of emergency and in violence. When I say in violence, I mean shooting, stabbing, accidents. I'm more trained in that area in the hospital, and I was prepared. I also was afraid as well, but nothing happened. But only in the social media. If you look at the social media, you get sick. I got sick. I got sick the day before yesterday with nerve, a little shaky with nerves, because I look at the media and I call my friend to the other state. What's going on there? Are you okay? What's going on? No, everything is okay here.
So then why are they sharing false news? Because we in Trinidad here, we looking on, and
unless we have another guest. We have another guest online there. I don't know if that is somebody that you would have invited.
Hello?
Yes, I would have. That is Crystal. Hi, good night, my dear. Good night. Glad to have you tonight, my dear. So we have on the live here, Mr. Dr. Paru Maraj, right? He's a Venezuelan national, also a Trinidad national, and he's here to enlighten us as to what's taking place in Venezuela, right? And he's clearing up quite a few things for us. He's letting us know that what we would have seen on social media is false news. Wow. And he's here, he's neutral. He's not for nor against. He is neutral. And he's clearing up some stuff for us. So you see, sometimes we could be led astray by social media. All right? So glad to have you. Hold on, Mr. You can ask questions in a timely fashion. So Paru, you go ahead. We are listening.
Yes. Where I stopped?
I was asking you, I was telling you that so that all what we saw on social media, it was propaganda, was false news.
Yes, false news. The majority. The majority is false news. Because I stopped watching because I say, man, this is craziness. This is craziness.
So let me ask another question. A lot of Venezuelans were leaving Venezuela and coming to Trinidad to seek refuge. What was the reason for that?
The economical situation in Venezuela is very bad. Let's and let's say year 2008, 2009, I bought with my month and a month salary, 8,000, almost 9,000 US dollars from a Cuban doctor who was selling US dollars. 1 month salary. So this is what I used to work for before the economy went down by the blockage.
Oh.
right? We were rich and we did not know. We were extremely rich and we didn't.
We seem to have lost him a bit.
Now, this.
Yes, you hear me now?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Right. There's an internet page that started that to break up the economy. They call it the black market dollar was invented and start to compare with the local, the central bank dollar and the local bank dollar. That's unstable the country completely and cause inflation. Right? In 2009, 2010 starts the problem where we did not have any importation of, goods like soap products, food products, right? Can you remember that? And there also was Trinidad and Tobago was supplying Venezuela with food items. And Trinidad and Tobago received letters warning from the U.S. not to do business with Venezuela and stop bringing in food. So what's going on here? The people suffered, not the government. The government does not have to suffer. You understand? Okay. It's the people who suffer by the sanctions placed, right? I heard some time ago that some politicians said to sanction Rowley. I'm not for Rowley. Okay? I'm not with Rowley. I'm not with UNC. I'm not with anyone. If you ask for sanction for a country, you are not sanctioning the government. You are sanctioning the country itself, the people who will suffer. And that is what went on here. The people are suffering. All political, they don't need anything. They don't need to worry about food on the table, a glass of water. They drink one drink of whiskey costs $100 and they're cool with that. But you and me and the people, we have to look out. So what's happening? We suffered by those sanctions that was placed, right? And the economy went down. Now, there are smart people, there are people who feel they're smart, took opportunity and exploit other people, right?
Yes.
And raising the price by how you call speculation, speculation, right? The prices, everything went out of control with prices. So now,
like we are experiencing here in Trinidad right now.
Well, I cannot say, Ms. Candice, what you are experiencing right now, speculation in Trinidad.
We are experiencing hardship. Prices are going up. Hello? We would have lost him.
Well, we know it's sabotaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it's sabotage because this thing here, it's shocking to me. It's shocking. What I seeing and what I hearing and what I experiencing from on the social media, it's like if this thing here is a total lie. This thing here, what I experiencing here and seeing and hearing about Venezuela is like, boy, Candice, what you have to say about that? I see your guest there. I ain't make out. Crystal, how you going?
Well, this is really alarming. This is really shocking to me, you know. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Yes. I think we're getting sabotaged, you know.
Yes. We are being sabotaged.
Okay, right. I am out of place if I say Trinidad has speculation because I'm not in Trinidad. I'm out of place, right? You understand me?
Yes.
Right. No other countries has no right to say we agree Maduro is there or not. They have no right. Venezuelan problems.
Venezuelan problems.
Wow, we're getting a lot of sabotage tonight, boy.
Yeah, well, you know it is, Candice. That is what is going on.
1 minute. Sorry. You remember yesterday, I did not see this, but I, in my speech, say half of what you see is just illusions. Most of what you hear is not the truth.
Yes. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Yes, right. And other, as I say, Venezuelan problems belongs to Venezuela. Other countries has no right to say what's going on or to opinion over Venezuela, right? Because they are not here. I have a friend who came who was scared of Venezuela, very scared. He came for medical treatment here, and we treated him in Trinidad Health. Say, hey, go home, and we can't do anything for you. I said, hey, man, come over to Venezuela. He was afraid of being here in Venezuela. Now he loves Venezuela so much, he feels safer here in Venezuela, right? Wow. So we cannot make opinion on the United States and say this and that on the United States, and the United States has people suffering on the streets. We don't know if it's true or not.
Okay.
Right? In Trinidad, you can see there are homeless people on the road. Very high, almost every, I can say, city in Trinidad.
Yeah.
If you go to Arima, you go to Port of Spain, you go to Sandy Grande, you see homeless people, right? Here you don't see that. You might see one or two.
Wow.
Might.
Wow.
Right? And
Okay.
the state where I am is 4 times bigger than Trinidad.
Ooh.
Right? So the health system here, you go to the hospital, you get attended. Yes, sometimes you have to wait, but I don't think you have to wait 24 hours. Other places as well, other places. I cannot say the name. I have no right to say the name. Right? I don't know if it's true, but you don't wait 24 hours to be attended to an emergency.
Candice, you hear that?
Right?
Well,
Candice, you hear that?
that happens a lot in Trinidad and Tobago. Eh? When you go to seek medical attention, it's until the next day. Sometimes you're on a chair almost 2 to 3 days before you could, be attended.
Oh.
So we have that problem in Trinidad and in all the hospitals. Because I would have heard a lot of people complain of that situation. Right?
Okay.
They go to seek medical attention and it's like 2 to 3 days. They even get fed up and forget and go back home.
Well, here you are. If I do that here as medical doctor in a hospital and I treat someone here and I do not attend to them in emergency, I go to jail.
Okay.
That I can say it's a dictator, okay? That I can say it's dictating because I have no choice. I have to attend the person obligation. It's obligated to attend to the person. Yes, you have to move, run. Nurses and doctors.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of nationals, Venezuelan nationals, who are doctors and who are nurses, well trained in Trinidad. I know a lot of them, right? And I can say I met when I went to Trinidad, one of my professor in medicine in Trinidad, working in a restaurant, right? So if they say the health system is bad, that man, he just watch you and he knows everything what's going on with you. Now, our salary here is very bad. Let's be straight. That's one thing with the government. It's very bad. I don't know what's going on. I cannot have, as a medical doctor here, I get something like $60 US a month from the government or less. You understand?
Wow.
So that is some of the things. He's been lied to, or he just gave blind eye on it, right? I'm being partial here. I'm being partial here. But I'm saying the truth, what is going on.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
The salary here is no good.
Okay.
What can you do with $60 when the canister, the basic food basket is almost 1,500 US a month here?
Yeah, that is not good enough. That is not good. They are underpaying you guys.
Yep, they are underpaying.
Yeah.
Why? Who caused all this? Who caused all this? The opposition side, who has their hands on all commercial business. They have their business. They have that, and they make something like I don't know if you understand the word, a monopoly, where they alone can how do you say, import and export. They alone. They put prices, right?
Wow.
So why also there is a lot of they don't speak how much tons of gold was seized from Venezuela in the international bank. They don't talk about that. How many tons, right? And in England, everybody say, hey, UK. Okay, what UK did to Venezuela with one guide up was there. And how many tons of gold was seized from Venezuela? Why did they not give that to the people if they know that the people needs help? You understand? You cannot throw the stone, hide your hand, and then come and give me a flower.
Yes.
True.
So what are you? So what are you saying then? So what are you saying? That plenty.
You dress up in jacket and tie and say, "Hey, I'm nice," and when you have we blame everything on the devil. You understand? And who's the devil really is us, you know? Is you or me or someone who's doing all the evil work.
Exactly.
Greed, my friend, greed and control is what is going on.
Oh, wow.
So I find out the amount of petroleum that we found in this place. It's a big city. We cannot sell it.
Okay.
We cannot sell it. We cannot do business with Trinidad and Tobago oil, but Trinidad drills oil from Venezuela. You know that?
Yes, we would have known that because they would have developed technology to drill it sideways.
Maybe when they might cut me off again because they listen. I don't care if they listen to me, no, but that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? So really and truly, it's all about control and money. Right? If we have the ability to let everyone live, I'm here, I'm seeing you, you're connected.
Right.
If we have the ability to say every creed and race find an equal place, truly, there will be peace and love in this world. There will be peace and love in Venezuela. But once there is that personal interest by a certain elite, the world is going to be down. Not only Venezuela, not only Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Well, you might say I say Trinidad, but I'm not Tobago. I've never been to Tobago, so I am accustomed to say Trinidad.
Candice,
right?
Candice, I don't think he's hearing me, but I want to ask
questions?
Him if the economy of Venezuela is turning around. I don't think he's hearing me.
Mr. Renison wants to ask if the economy of Venezuela is turning around because he's trying to get onto you, but he's cut off.
Oh, I think they're sabotaging him. No, it's not getting on. They say here it's getting improvement. It's a lie. That's a lie. The government here say, it's improving. Improving for who? Right?
Yeah.
Improving for who? A small group of people.
So they are telling a lot of lies. So this show is very informative because you would have educated me a lot about what's taking place because in my mind, I telling myself it's real thing going on over there, starvation, bombing up, killing, all kind of thing taking place. And to my surprise, what you are saying is not true.
No. The economy is in a mess here. The government say they make good salary. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. What a pensioner can do with 130 bolivars is almost $5 US. What can a pensioner do with 130 bolivars? $5 US. What can he do?
Can't do nothing with that.
All right. So you
Can't do
see,
nothing.
I'm not taking sides. I'm not taking sides. That is craziness. A man or a woman or a citizen, every citizen has a right to have pension, work or not. Just by being a citizen, automatically you have rights to have your pension. Right? That is automatic law. And here what's going on? What an old guy can do with $5 a month.
You can't do nothing. You can't even pay. You can't even buy food. You can't pay medical bills if you're sick. You know, you can't pay electricity bill. You can't do much. So now I understand why some of the Venezuelans were fleeing the country and coming across here.
Yes. Most of them went out of the country because we cannot maintain our family, cannot maintain children. The old elderly people, we cannot maintain the elderly people here because the food is expensive. Last time when I went to Trinidad, I make comparison of Trinidad food prices and Venezuelan food prices. I see Trinidad is more almost the same price, but I don't know in this present moment in Trinidad. But here, you cannot make a good supermarket. Yeah, it's correctly what I make. Good supermarket, buy food
good
correctly.
market, yeah. But it's basically the same thing here, you know. Param is basically the same thing here because $1,000 TT is like almost like $100 because by the time you get your salary, right? Every week the price is going up, you know. And look, right now I am working on a 2013 salary, and the government has only offered us 4%. Right?
Wow.
What can we do with 4%? And they're not even budging. So everything going up, food going up, gas going up, everything going up, except our salaries. And now they come with this. Say again?
Okay. Yeah. Continue.
Right. And now they are implementing this property tax and all kind of laws on us. And the country is crying out for poverty. A lot of people complaining, they are crying out, they're suffering. We have reached the stage where you're working not even month to month anymore. Within 1 week, your salary finish, right? Because you have to travel, you have to buy food, you have to buy books to send your children to school. It's poverty all around. Some people living day to day. Some people cannot even afford to put 3 square meals a day on the table for themselves and their family. So we are living in a sad state in Trinidad, and to me, like it's getting even worse.
Well, that's what happened here in Venezuela because the government did not take time to put hard hand on certain people.
Right, because I was even saying that how come they cannot have long ago when I was a young girl, they used to have price control in in supermarkets. Now they no longer have that. They don't have price control. So you will pay $110 for a pack of milk, the big size pack. And next week you'll go back, it'll be $120. And they're not even raising it by 25 cents or 50 cents, you know, or even $1. They're raising it by $5 and $6 and $10.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, that's what happened here in Venezuela, and the country went down completely by that. Today, there is one price, and then tomorrow there's the next price because of a certain group of people was controlling the prices, right? So the government now placed complete control on prices. Now it's controlling, but it's too late. They take that measurements too late, right? So if Trinidad does not take measurements on that, it will be too late. Now Venezuelans will get out of Trinidad.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So that will go on. No? The food is something that you have to control the prices, have control, steady control. Yes, the supermarkets cannot have losses, has to pay employment, but you have to be justified is the word, justified?
Justified, yes.
Right. There was prices going up here, unjustified here, and that is the next way. Why the unjustified prices? There was no food here, not even sardine, soap, Colgate. How you say when the mothers for women, diapers for children, none. They did not let any premium material come into the country, and that was this unstable the country completely, shake the country. You understand? And that what caused a huge migration. Migration is the word?
Yeah.
Migration for people to get out. There was no milk in Venezuela for babies to drink. No milk. And all was imported. Why? Because we depend on importing and not making or producing ourselves. Right?
Okay.
So the country has to promote his own local foods. I am laughing. You know why? Why I'm laughing? I saw in Trinidad a Portugal is more expensive than an apple in Trinidad.
Wow.
At certain times, yes. At certain times, yes, it would be a little more expensive.
But it should not be. We should have our local foods for us much cheaper. That's the correct way.
Exactly.
Right? So we don't. Now we here in Venezuela, we are getting projects to support our own farmers and stop trying to bring in, how you say, there's projects, but we still importing, but we are supporting local farmers. The government are supporting local farmers as well. In Trinidad, I don't see local farmers getting support. They most likely importing. So this is when we get dependent of importation. You go down like Venezuela, because Venezuela error was or mistake was depend on importation.
Okay.
Right? And we have a lot of talented people here, young people. I remember some time ago, a little guy, 17 years old, 16, 17 years old, he made an helicopter.
Okay.
Right? And he started flying all over the place, but he couldn't do that. It's not legal. Right?
Oh my God.
And what they did, they took him, and now Venezuela, he is in the Air Force right now. Right? So Trinidad has that opportunity. Here we have opportunities and advantages. The advantages, the economy is no good, and we have political problems. Everything here is political problem, and a lot of lies, and there's a lot of truth as well.
Well, basically it's the same thing here, because in Trinidad and Tobago at the moment, it's only when it's close to election, you see the politicians on either side coming to your neighborhood, and they will promise you this and they will promise you that. And after the election, depending on who wins, you don't see them again. And all they would have promised you, you don't get it. And then closer to the election now, they're coming to pave the road, they're coming to give you a proper drainage. And these are things is a must. So it's like everybody just trying to capitalize on us. And I think I see our government does do. They're quick to tell us the country is going through a crisis. Tighten your belt. But I have been hearing tighten my belt since I was like about 18 years. Now I'm in my 40s. Right? So my belt is so tight that I am choking. Right? My belt is so tight that I am choking, so that I reach this stage now. People those in power needs to be held accountable for their actions.
Yes.
Because a lot of monies have been missing in the treasury, right? And who's going to account for the monies? Now they're implementing a lot of taxes and all kind of laws. It's like if they want us, the citizens, to pay back that money, but we didn't get a share in that. We was never privileged to benefit from that. And I'm talking about in our household. So it's as though all the taxes they come in with is as if, but that's the talk on the ground from the mouth of the people. It's as though they want us to pay back that money that has gone missing. And who is going to be held accountable for that money? That is going to sweep under the carpet. And I believe this government that is in power at the moment, I don't think that they have our best interests at heart. No. Because a lot of things is taking place and they are turning a blind eye. Because some of the laws you would have explained to us, right, as to where if somebody comes to the hospital and you don't attend to them, you could go to jail. They say that is dictatorship. We don't have that here. In Trinidad, you live, and you're dead. Our Prime Minister said it. Oh. Who live, and who dead. And one of the other ministers was making joke, I think it was Mr. Colin, but said, how much time they raise gas and nobody protests, and he laughed. So in other words, it's as though they are making a mockery of us. And it's a high time these citizens of Trinidad and Tobago stand up. Right? They need us. They need us to vote for them. Right? And they have been neglecting us. They have been neglecting us time and time again. And it has to stop.
Okay. There's something I want to say as well. Here, I think every citizen of every country should enjoy the natural resource by being a citizen, right? Here, before the gasoline, gas, you call it gas, right? We say gasoline. Yeah. The liquid that you put in the car, you say gas, right?
Yeah, gas.
Right? Gas. We say gas is you all say CNG. Now
we have CNG and we have natural gas.
Right. Before here, that was almost next to nothing. What's going on here now? The government of Venezuela is selling the gasoline or gas to Trinidad. The gasoline that is in Trinidad and Tobago is from Venezuela, right? So you look up the octanaje, the strength of the gasoline, and compare from Venezuela, it's the same. It's Venezuelan gasoline. So that's why the refinery was closed down. So maybe it's more cheaper for them, but the price is too high. Here in Venezuela, a liter of gasoline is 50 cents US. That's too much money for us, right? Too much money. And you have subsidized gasoline where you have 120 liters of gasoline for a month. That is not good for us because that's let's be straight, that's Cuban a Cuban doctrine that the government has taken as well. Most of us here, we want to have as before abundance of everything. We do not have, right? Because of this doctrine that is these laws that was placed. It was placed because why? There was the word contraband, as I say, contraband was taken out illegally from the country. So this is why the government as well placed restrictions. For example, anybody could come with a big boat and buy gasoline next to nothing in Venezuela and carry to Guyana and sell. Right? So that contraband had we paid the price for that, right? The control of the currency, U.S. currency, companies like McDonald's, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, international companies was generating, making bolivares and buying U.S. currencies in high quantities and getting it out of the country. So that there you get restriction. Now all this restriction has a benefit and yet
disadvantage. Paru?
Girl, cut again.
Yes, the
Hello?
disadvantage. Yes, the disadvantage. We pay the price. You understand? Now, speaking about electricity, I see in Trinidad the electricity. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Are you hearing
Okay.
me?
Okay. The electricity bill here is not expensive. I see the electricity bill in Trinidad is, oh man, almost 100 times more expensive,
Very expensive here. Very expensive in
right?
Trinidad.
And it's a small country. The state where I am, it's 4 times bigger than Trinidad, and we manage all these. We can manage. I don't understand why so expensive. But really and truly, as we're getting back to the Venezuelan issue, it's all Venezuelan goes to Trinidad. Now he has to say, hey, I have to pay for lights. I have to pay for water. Here, nobody pays for water. Nobody.
Wow.
Nobody.
Wow.
Nobody pays for water, right? So if you're talking about dictatorship, does dictator give water to anybody? The organization where I live is, I have my own house. When I came to Venezuela, I worked almost 5 years and I had my own house. I get help from the government and I paid off my house in about 4 years. I paid off my house. The dictatorship gives that, right?
Wow.
I never paid a water bill in my life here in Venezuela. Never.
Wow.
Electricity bill, yeah, I pay.
So what you saying?
Once I get mad with the electricity van, he came to cut my light and he said, I will break your tail if you cut my light. And he just went away, right?
So
and
what
I
you
went
saying?
and paid.
So we're saying nobody don't pay electricity?
I went and paid. And it was something like every 3 months, something like it didn't reach $5.
Peru, we kind of lost him there.
Wait, what? No water bill?
Yes.
Peru? Mr.
Yes, I'm back.
Are you hearing me?
Oh,
yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I know the guest in hearing me.
Hello.
Are you hearing
Yes.
Mr. Renison? Are you hearing Mr. Renison?
Are you
No,
hearing
I'm
me?
not hearing Mr. Edison. Next thing I want to add on is water wells. I say correct? Where you drill a hole in your land
Yeah.
and you put a machine, a pump inside and you take off. That's yours. That belongs to you. No dictating countries allow that. That is your water. You give that to the community if you want.
We have to pay water every other month. We have to pay water bill. Well, it varies there because some people pay a substantial amount. Some people pay less. Light bill is off the hook. You have to pay light bill every other month. As of me, my light bill does be $500 and change every other month. And I don't be home during the day. Nobody is home during the day. It's only at nights.
Okay.
And the bill is the same. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down.
Well, Crystal, I hearing you in the corner there and you ain't saying anything.
Well, okay. My wife has her apartment. I have my house before, right? My whole house, my dogs, I have a bulldog and I have a poodle, right? And the bulldog lives in air condition and it's almost $5 to $6. Let's say I pay $6 a month. Let's say every 3 months, right? And with air condition on. So I want you to just, into comillas, we say as in Spanish, I never paid for water in Venezuela. Never. I pay for water if I go to buy a bottle of water to drink, right? That's when I pay for water. Some restaurants, most of the restaurants, they give you water to drink because of courtesy or you're going to buy food, right?
Yeah.
And
Wow, we have lost him.
Wow.
I put a well, so you can compare. Who is dictator really? Venezuela or
Trinidad?
Right. You said the word. You said the word. Right?
Yeah, we are living under dictatorship.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Crystal, do
Right.
you have any questions, Mr. Paru?
I'm really shocked right now because when you think about it, water should really be free. I real shocked about that. And I was looking at the news and I saw Trump giving a speech saying that they're not going to allow, I think the same thing, this government in Venezuela to do certain things, and they have their support. But what this guy saying here, he matched them maxing, you know?
It's a total different thing. Well, he's enlightening us on what's taking place. Because in our mind is real war, rumors of war, real bacchanal, real confusion taking place, and he's saying a different thing.
And this is what I was saying yesterday in his speech. We have to really understand what's going on. Not everything we see on the news or the media is exactly what's happening. You know, it's a whole show.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. Okay. I can say one thing really for sure. I can say one thing for sure here. If we get into war, the army here is very prepared. Don't make joke.
That is the thing.
Right?
They don't need help.
They are well prepared, well trained. I will consider, it's not a nice word that I should use. I will consider them as madmen. Right?
Okay.
Right? Because to be a military official, you have to be an engineer, doctor, lawyer. You have to be an official. Right? You have to be a professional to have high-ranking officer, and then you have to go to 5 to 6 years to be. Every 5 years to get your grade, you have to go military university. So these guys here are very prepared, well prepared. They do not take advantage of civilians. Yes, there are military officers who take advantage, but they go to jail. Right?
Okay. Well, not. Let me stick up in, but not in Trinidad. There are officers that will do your wickedness, and it's like the government will sweep it under the carpet. They turn a blind eye. So we are really living under dictatorship, because when an officer of the law commits a crime, right, once it is visible, they will deal with it, but you will not hear it as much in the public domain. They will broadcast it on the news.
Exactly.
But when an officer, like for instance, my situation that would have taken place with my son and
yes, I'm aware of it.
Right. And up to now, right? Now remember, this is allegations, right? And up to now, I don't believe nothing has been done. The officer is still working. The other day I saw him on my TikTok. I was introducing our program, right? On TikTok, and he sent me a smiley face.
Wow.
In other words, in a format to taunt me. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like nothing is being done.
No.
So how could you in Trinidad, how could you have a law against criminals committing crime, and when an officer of the law commits a crime, it goes unnoticed?
Not even a slap on the wrist.
No. Listen, we have jail here designed for police officers. We have jail designed for military officers as well.
Wow.
Don't play with the law. Let's say a civilian gets 2 years jail for committing, let's say stealing a telephone here, a cellular phone, right?
Yeah.
It's 3 to 5 years in jail here. But if a soldier, a military officer, or let's say someone of the law, he gets 10 minimum years of jail, right? Yes, they are corrupted officers. Yes, they are. I'm not saying here is any bed of roses, right? Right? They are. There are officers who will try to trick you, steal from you. Yes, they are. But if you get catch, get out.
Yeah.
Right?
But the thing is this. As I just always say, as an officer, you're supposed to uphold the law, right? Because remember, you would have sworn by oath, right?
Yes.
And when I would have realized over the years, a lot of these civilians have no respect for the Trinidad and Tobago police officers and them.
No.
None whatsoever. Long time when I was a child, Paru, and I see an officer pass, no, you're giving trouble, your mother or your father will say, I'm going to call the police for you. You will straighten up. Now in Trinidad, they have no respect, none whatsoever for the TTPS.
No.
Right. You
So
want
that
respect, you
alone
have to
shows
win it.
you. That alone shows you that something is wrong, because if the head ain't good, how could the tail be good?
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know if it happened in Trinidad. I think they say Venezuela is dictator, but when a police officer stop you here or a military officer stop you here, there's a law that you can take your cellular phone and film. Film is the word I say. Make a video of the procedure that is taking place. That is the law here, right? So I don't know why they say, a dictator country, you cannot do that. You does that in a dictator country? Does a dictator country permit you to do that? Take a picture of police officer? No. So we have to look at Trinidad and Tobago. I love Trinidad. I love doubles. I love Kalalu. I love that a lot. And the pepper as well. All right. But we have to look at what is the truth here without side. Right.
Exactly.
Who is dictator and who is not dictator? Who is really dictator and who is not dictator? Right.
Exactly.
Because I cannot have my country where my natural resource is water, and I have to charge my citizen for drinking water or cut off his water. Where is the human rights? Here in Venezuela, you cannot, the government cannot, or you cannot have, let's say you, Miss Candice, has an oil well and I'm not charging you. You are obligated to connect to the pipeline to give water to the people, right? Dictator does that.
No.
You don't. Yes, there are places in Venezuela no water, but the government has to supply water for free. Dictator country does not do that, right? Right? They does not do that. So I don't know why you make comparison.
Let me ask a question. So you all pay property tax in Tobago? I mean, sorry, not Tobago, in Venezuela.
I did that once.
So then, wait, stick up. So Maduro and our prime minister, they are good buddies, because you will often see them on the news together. Why isn't Trinidad and Tobago, this government, taking pattern from the Venezuelan government? Because we have to pay for everything.
It's like we live in England.
And we are suffering. The citizens are suffering.
Here's what. Once, when I bought my house, I paid in the mayor's office tax once for only 1 year. I never paid again. They never harassed me again. I don't know how much I owe. And they cannot, by law, take my house because of tax.
No, that is what they are threatening. I believe that is what they are threatening in Trinidad.
Yeah, that is exactly what they are threatening in Trinidad.
You cannot pay your tax. Let me say you had to pay how much thousands of dollars by the end of the year or if it's by the month, and you cannot pay. I would have heard someone said they will come into your home, and if they'll take your fridge, they will take your stove.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't retain all these things. And to make up for the money. So what will happen the next time?
I heard a PNM minister said that.
Right. So what will happen? All right. After you take everything in my house, my stove, my fridge, my bed, eventually you're going to take the house. And then the way how the economy is in Trinidad and Tobago, you can hardly get jobs. Then we will have a lot of homeless people on the streets.
Them don't care.
Okay. Well, that cannot happen here. Now, let
I
me
bet
ask.
you
Let me
Venezuela.
tell you something. You have I have an apartment. Let's say I buy an apartment to rent, right?
Yeah.
And there's a child, a newborn baby, or underage child, a child in here, and the people who are renting from me, some reason or not, they don't have any money. I cannot put them out because the child is there, or a pregnant woman. I cannot. The law protects the child, the law protects the woman, and the law protects the aged person
All
as
right.
well.
Well, stick up in
Right?
here. Stick up in Peru. Stick up in.
Wow.
So this young lady that we have on the live here with us, right?
Yeah.
She would have had an incident, right? Where a step uncle would have taken her before the magistrate court, right? And because she wasn't aware that she had a court matter. When she did get the information, she went. And the magistrate did not even want to give her hearing, neither her lawyer. And the magistrate would have ruled in the gentleman's favor, right? Passing an order to evict her and her 8 children, putting them out on the streets. And today, we are crying out. Myself and the justice advocate team, we would have did a lot of videos, and we would have been crying out to the government for help. And this is the same government that lending a hand to each and every other country except us, the citizens who voted for them. So what you saying there, that you cannot put out a woman and a child if they're renting out of her apartment?
This is
It's the total opposite that would have happened to Miss Crystal Joseph here. Right now she's homeless. She's staying by a relative with 8 children.
Oh. Well, the magistrate and the uncle here is looking like something like 5 to 20 years in jail, okay?
Look at the difference.
Okay. That's violence against women rights, violence against children rights. Here in Venezuela, you kill a child and you go to jail, they kill you in jail. You damage a child or beat a child, you go to jail, they kill you. You rape a woman, you go to jail, they kill you here, the prisoners. I'm not saying that you have to kill somebody when they do that. No, I'm not saying. But the human rights here are very, very high, right?
Wow.
It's and also we have a law here that says you violate human rights, you lost your human rights. For example, gangsters. Right? Gangsters don't last more than 28 days here in Venezuela. Yes, they are gangsters, yes, but they have to hide. Once they reveal themselves they are gangsters, they last 28 days. I don't have to say what happened, they go to jail or what. They just have to disappear. Right? So you cannot, a dictating country does not give rights to women, does not give rights to children. If we are dictator, if Venezuela has dictator, right? So. Yeah. What's your name?
Crystal.
Miss Crystal. Your 8 children, by law, they cannot be touched in that home until they have 22 years of age. And by you occupying the house for 5 years, automatically you are owner of the house because you may take maintenance and you have option to pay the owner of the house. There are old people here who have rented apartments, who have apartments, luxurious apartments in their times. Now the government, the government does not take away. It's your conscience. It's an old person. You cannot put him out, right? Wow. It's your conscience. Right?
Yeah, well, listen to me. Well, in her case, she didn't have a voice. So the magistrate went on based on the previous ruling that the other magistrate would have had, not giving her a hearing, right? So
and then demolished the house.
And when she was given the order to vacate the premises, the gentleman came and demolished the house.
Oh,
right. So we went to Miss Crystal Joseph home, right? The team and I, and the owner of the property would have came with his deed and a document stating that he would have given Miss Crystal permission to live on the land, and the house was never his. He went to court. I don't know what document he would have provided for that magistrate, so that that magistrate would have given that kind of ruling. But today, this woman is homeless with 8 children.
That is madness. That you don't see that here in Venezuela.
Thank you.
That in Venezuela, okay, we have family planification. The government made family planification, right? They made that. So I got I study, I go study, I go get a job, I get my job, I get engaged, I get married, right? I can have a home. But now what happened here now, what I don't agree with the government here is a girl get pregnant, she's 14 years of age, get pregnant, she has 1 child, 2 child, they take my chance to get a home to give to her because she has children. You understand?
They do what? Say that again, repeat that.
Okay, I explain again. They give a program of educating for family growth, to grow family, right? So family support or family bearing, I don't know how you say in English. Planification, family planification. I study, I get university, I get job, I get engaged, I have my wife, we can get the government to sign a house for me. But comes up a girl that gets pregnant, 14 years, 15 years old, she has a baby, they automatically take that house that is assigned to me. I'm not living in the house as yet. It's assigned, only assigned, not given to me as yet, and give to the woman because she has a child.
Oh, okay, right.
So she has, how you say, the word,
Have more rights than a person.
She have rights?
She has more, she's needed more. Right?
She needed more.
Yes, you cannot anywhere here in Venezuela take off a woman and a child or a woman or old elderly person from a home. You go to jail.
Well, not in Trinidad. In Trinidad, anything happens. Trinidad is not a real place.
I have to say that now. I have to agree with that.
Trinidad is not a real, because some of the laws that you would have explained to us that is taking place in Venezuela. Now you kind of enlighten my horizon towards Venezuela, because I would have heard that Venezuela is a bad place and if you go there, they go kill you and all kind of wrong things. But you would have cared about a lot of things for us.
When I was in Trinidad a month or somewhere along there, I was to have 3-4 eyes on me.
Yeah.
Look left, right, back and front, right?
Because as it is now, Paru, as it is now, I just be afraid to leave my house, you know.
Right.
Trinidad and Tobago is such a sad, sad country right now, because let me tell you this, every day is 5-6 murders, every single day. Blood washing the streets. You understand me? It's robberies, it's kidnapping, people going missing, and not being accounted for. Trinidad is not the island that I would have known back then. It is the condition we are living in right now is sad. It is so sad. It is so sad. Sometimes I just didn't want to leave my house. When I walk in the road, they can't. And listen to me, you can't really walk with cash, you know. If you have to walk with cash, it's either you walk with your bank card, or you take your money and you hide it somewhere in your body because you don't know who coming at you.
Oh.
Right?
In Venezuela, you don't have to worry about that because nobody pays attention to you when you have cash. Nobody. Your cellular phone, you can have 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You can have it out and walk the streets, go downtown. Nobody pays attention to you.
Not in Trinidad. Right? Trinidad is a complete It's
I
a
don't know if
different
I'm.
case.
I don't know if I'm.
Hello? We would have lost him.
Well, Candice, I see you have a
Yes, you
serious
don't hear that
conversation that we had to
anymore
wrap
here.
up.
Before, yes, when the government gets strict on, they get very strict on the law, gets strict on criminals, that stop.
Well,
So
that is something that they need to do in Trinidad, not only on the criminals, on the officers and them as well, because if the citizens do not have respect for the officers, what do you expect the criminals to do?
yes, but Miss Candice, if you need respect, you have to respect as well. Because when I was in Trinidad, a police officer started to curse me and ask me why I am speaking Spanish. Started to curse me. I just shut my mouth and I did not say anything to him.
But
right?
that was
So
a
if you
very
want
good thing
respect,
because you're going to end up with a case.
yep, but
Which you would I get
Yes.
charged for nothing? Because that's
Yes.
what we're doing here.
so you want respect, you get it. Here,
Yeah,
you cannot curse a police. You cannot curse a police. You cannot curse a soldier. Or anyone can be soldier, anyone can be police. You don't know.
Not in Trinidad, not in Trinidad, Paru, not in Trinidad. I see people, civilians cursing at the police.
Oh, okay.
The
All right, so
citizens have no respect for the Trinidad and Tobago TTPS. And I would ask from them, ask yourself, why? What will cause that? But you see, I don't really want to go into that for fear
Yes,
of
yes.
victimization. But
yes,
the fact that the citizens, some of the citizens, because I'm a law-abiding citizen, I will not curse in front of a police officer. If I am walking the street and I see an officer passing and I'm cursing, I will muzzle my tongue. But at the end of the day, Trinidad has gone mad.
yes. Okay, okay.
But the strange thing is that the prime minister of this country is friends with the minister of that country, and these laws
and
that
what going on over here? What going on in Trinidad?
Because they say, show me a friend and I'll tell you who he is. I mean,
well, what really going on in Trinidad? I would like to know, because if Maduro and Rowley is good partners, because they're always all over the social media together, so he isn't taking pattern of how Venezuela is being run. What going on in Trinidad?
He would know the laws that they have there, and he would be observing what's going on his social media, and he would see that, like, something wrong.
Something wrong.
Wow.
Something definitely wrong.
So wait, he doing
Right.
thing in their pants, as the grandpa used to say, doing thing in their pants. Guys,
say again, Crystal. I didn't hear you.
Like long ago, my grandmother used to say, doing thing in their pants. I don't know what I mean, but she was Spanish. She used to say, doing thing in their pants, like you're doing it for spite then. Because
okay.
And you see, they will do a lot of things and they will get away because we, the Trinidadians, we don't take things serious.
Yeah.
Trinidadians don't take things serious. Everything is like at 21 days, at 7 days, and 9 days, and then they
lost
smash
you.
and they stop it.
Craziness. Way.
Well, I am so happy to be able to have this conversation with you, Paru.
We lost Miss Candice.
You're hearing me?
You hearing you? You're not hearing you, Miss Candice.
We are being sabotaged. We are being sabotaged.
Are you hearing her now?
No, I'm hearing you.
Oh, Lord.
Wow, that is definitely, tell him I said that is definitely
you see what going on? You see what going on, Candice? You heard me?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So all you have to do, tell him, say
Hello?
something in closing. Crystal, I believe he heard you.
She would want to know what you would have to say in closing, if you have any closing statements to make.
I will like this. I need the statements that has been said. I'm partial, and I wish peace on Trinidad and Tobago, peace on Venezuela, and peace for the Venezuelan people.
Yeah.
Because I'm very grateful on Venezuela because when I came to Venezuela, in Trinidad, I had nothing. I was not the opportunity to study or anything like that. And Venezuela gives to me opportunity to study. Now Venezuela gives their hand to all over the world when everything was okay in Venezuela. Now Venezuela needs the world, and most of the world turned their backs on Venezuela.
Wow.
Right. Also, Miss Candice is hearing me?
Yes,
I'm hearing
okay.
you. I'm hearing
There's a place called Puerto Das in Venezuela that's full of Trinidadians. When things was good here, it's full of Trinidadians. They left descendants there, and Venezuela took care of them. They gave them jobs. They give them everything without asking for documents or anything like that.
Wow.
And we accepted Colombians, Peruans, everybody, Mexican, and now we are being rejected. Yes, they are very bad Venezuelans, very bad. Yes, I know. I agree. You commit a crime, whatever nationality you are, you have to pay for that crime, right? So I wish everything is going to be okay. I pray, and I think when I go to Trinidad, maybe I run for prime minister as well.
I would welcome that. We would welcome that. Come over.
But I was thinking to move Venezuela.
Well, you have Peru, you have me. You have me
move to Venezuela. You should come to Venezuela. Bienvenido a Venezuela.
I think I should.
Yes.
All right. So we have come.
Yeah, you study for free, and I hope everybody has every creed and race and find an equal place. Right?
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mr.
Okay. What Miss Candice say?
Miss Candice.
I tell him I'm grateful for the invite, and I will come in a timely fashion. I will come visit him.
She is grateful for the invite, and she will come in a timely fashion. She'll visit.
Okay.
And tell him I said we are
goodbye.
grateful.
Any other question?
No, tell him we are about to close. Okay, right? Tell him I'm grateful for having. We are grateful for having him on the show.
And we're really thankful for having you on the show and for giving us that clarification. We really needed to know. So now we have a better understanding of what really happened.
And tell him I said thank you very much and have a pleasant night.
When I go back to Trinidad, keep some doubles for me.
Okay.
Yes, I will. Tell him I will.
And she said thanks and have a blessed night.
Same to you. Same to all.
Okay,
God
bye.
bless Trinidad. God bless Venezuela.
Venezuela as well. Okay. Mr. Renison?
Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe what I just said.
Neither do I.
I can't believe that.
So what going on with Trinidad, Gail? What are you going on with Trinidad?
This is wickedness for real. Wow.
Listen to me, Crystal. That clearly shows that the government of Trinidad and Tobago is what had Trinidadians suffering. So,
And some ignorant people who tend to just not understand that we can't vote for change. We can't vote for change. We'll not get it. We have to stand together and see change because them know that we divided. So they're doing what they want.
They're doing what they want.
And when these when some people come up and start to say things that will encourage the government to make behavior and say, so why do this or why do that? It's not why. Something is wrong.
Something is definitely wrong. Definitely wrong.
You have to see that something is wrong. And even if you're talking on their side, if you're talking in their favor, them don't care about that. Them just glad that we separated and that we can argue about something that will shift us away from what them really doing, which is manipulating us into fighting against ourselves. Once we see divided, they will continue with the agenda. And what the agenda is?
It's to just take the money and live like kings and queens, and we continue to suffer.
And if we have a war, who will suffer? We will suffer. So I don't know. I will never vote again. I don't care.
No, you can't say you're voting. You cannot say that, Crystal. We have to vote for change. We have to vote for change.
But who? Who it is we're going to vote for?
Yeah, but we have to vote for change. I don't agree with you, Lovey. We have to vote for change. Listen to me. In a timely fashion, we will be able to weed out the goat from the sheep, and you will make it decision. Right? Again tonight, I want to say thanks to all the viewers. Right? It was a privilege to be here tonight with you guys to talk on this issue where, as to what's taking place in Venezuela and compare it with Trinidad and Tobago, right? It was a very informative topic, and I am grateful for being here. As I go along, I'm getting to learn more, right? And although we had a lot of technical sabotage, but we would have gotten the assignment done, and our show is coming to an end, Mr. Renison.
Right. I would have heard everything. I know for a little while there, I know Candice, I have faith in you because there's a person would have taken away the show. Because the guy couldn't hear me, but I hear him. And, we had to constantly relate, and we have Crystal here on the line. Everybody or is supposed to know Crystal by now. She will be joining us from time to time on some of our shows. She has some good content in talking about relationship issues and normal everyday stuff. You understand what I'm saying? That, that could help a lot of people. So is each one help one outside here.
Exactly.
And, before we go, we would have done this thing before we even have had contact with the gentleman. We'd have done this already, Because since the 28th of this month, we would have been watching this election thing closely. And just for you to get a feel, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to get a feel of what is going on and the misinformation campaign that is taking place sometime all across the world. And we having the damn Prime Minister trying to set me up and say, boy, we getting a good rate for electricity. Or you see what's going on? People don't even have to pay for water. Exactly. You understand? And that nasty, stinking, dirty Terrence Dial Singh stating that what's going on. They're trying to stop the funds. They want to take away all the free medical health care. And we have countries outside there that not even self-paying a water bill, that not even self-paying taxes. We have a government that hustling and piping out the money. You understand? They are political pipers. Imagine that. Man, what a shame. Shame on them.
We the citizens to pay for the misuse of the funds of Trinidad and Tobago.
And 3 billion, Candice, with the Auditor General that tell she by we going and get rid of here. And she had also go all by Privy Council and all kind of thing. This is what going on here in Trinidad.
That was a strategy. They shut up the woman because they don't want that information to come out. Now, I can understand it. All government does thief, Let us be frank. We're talking all government does thief. What spread some of the crumbs on the people now.
All of them does thief. All.
Exactly.
And I ain't afraid to go on no platform and say that all does thief. All.
Every single one.
But let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say. The UNC and them they might delay thing, but they know that the spread comes for the poor people.
That is why.
And I say that without apology. Because they say all kind of things about the UNC. And I ain't taking back what I'm saying here tonight. But people like to vote race. Right? People like to vote race.
That's true.
The government that we have now, who is the Prime Minister? A black African like myself. And what is he doing to the citizens? This government turning a blind eye on the people. Take for instance my situation, Miss Crystal's situation, and many more situations that would have taken place and never reached social media. Right? Because
and at the end of the day, Candice, this is what this platform is about, This platform here is to spread the word of the people on the ground.
Yes.
You understand? So when we come in here, I mean, I just hear some kind of nasty, stinking comments outside there, or you're looking for fame. Exactly. This is not a fame thing, you know? Because there are many real issues outside there. When you go to TV6, you go to TTT, they're not even taking a complaint. They're chopping up the story so small, finer than Chili BB.
Let me tell you something.
And I fed up at that, yes?
You know when I realized that they just chop up the story and they doesn't want to hear you? Before I met with the Workers' Rights Union, I went to CNC3 in Port of Spain. Yeah, CNC3. And I was in tears because I was tired looking for help to tell the whole world what I saw the officer did to my son. They took me upstairs in a room, they listened to what I had to say, and they tell me they will call me. When they tell me they will call me, I was about to walk out, you must say, but they don't have my number. They remember to take my number, and they never called.
Man, watch out.
I can relate.
We opening the lines tonight, as a matter of fact. We fix the problem. We opening the line, the number on the screen, 333-2176. Anybody have anything to say, boy, about this? Or you comfortable at that bill or you getting outside there, boy? Or you comfortable? Or you comfortable with getting, the selling out property tax? Or you comfortable with that? Or you comfortable with the level of education that you get in every corner you turn? You see that child on a corner, boy. A failed education system. God's be dolly only want to look nice. That is all and the woman's arm and the PNM defending her. And when you look in the country, women and children are being violated on every day. We would have come with the information. There's a big gap with missing persons. We try to highlight it. We see Maduro and all trying to do something. He and Sean Sobas. Or you have to come on the platform, or you don't highlight it in silence. Don't do that. So at the same time, we are here performing our service. What Candice doing here? Candice, you could do something better than this. Than come here and try to talk to people. I know, Crystal, you too. But what we are doing here is for you to encourage you to come out and say something. For you to speak out.
Break the silence.
Break the silence.
Let me tell you, now is the time to break silence. Because too much happening. And Trinidad and Tobago, I want to urge all you not to come out in violence, because we are not preaching violence. No. But united we stand, and divided we are going to fall. If we do not come together and make a stand, the country is going to get worse and worse and worse. Just now we wouldn't even be able to send our children to school. Just now we wouldn't be, it don't reach to that already. Some parents can't even afford to send their children to school. They can't put food on the table. They can't buy books to put in the book bag.
But Candice, the other day, they catch a woman thieving books she thieving.
Imagine that. Why you think this woman would have thieved the books? It's because she couldn't afford. And that's another thing. The books, the textbooks and them, long time, I know you could have reused the books. Right? I would have used my sister's books. My sister would have used my brother's book. No, every term the books are being changed and the prices is going up.
Exactly.
So who is going to deal with that? Who's going to address that?
Candice, you check the comments. I don't want to be rude to the people and them in the comments, but you understand that we haven't addressed them. They have been here with us. They have been talking with us. Plenty of them are commenting in the comments, you understand? We could at least show them some courtesy. I don't know what they're doing. Thanks for watching us. Candice, with the comments.
Well, just now I'm reading some of the comments. All right, so Kester Selwyn would have said, I fed up of the PNM and the UNC. When one in power is bad talk, and so on, USA needs to stay out of people's business.
True.
Somebody said something is not right here. Right? Mr. IQ said that. When Ramar said good night, everyone.
Good night.
Tonight we had a lot of people looking on.
And this, I see like your camera sticking. I know what's going on there.
Just now, there is something keep coming up on the screen. You know, tonight was a lot of sabotage, eh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes.
Tonight was a lot of sabotage. So, a lot, and I want to believe too, the fact that we would have had all those sabotage, they would have even be blocking the light from going out for people to view it as well. You understand me? But something got to give, you know, because people in Trinidad under pressure. Everywhere you go, that is the cry of the people.
Every time
the people, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. What are you saying, sister?
Every time somebody stand up and try to talk about a situation or something going on with them, people are stopped them. People are stopped them, laugh at them, make a mockery, and they don't deal with the real issue that the person having. Like, you know, they don't have any humility, as you say. Trinidad don't have that. People being really unkind to other people, and they acting as though these things can happen to them. Like, you know,
my take on this, my take on this, it's about time Trinidad and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago wake up.
Yes, we need to wake up because things can happen to anybody.
We have to wake up. Now is the time, listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago, we had to wake up. Now is the time them need us. We don't need them because we already know it's separation, we know it's hardship. Right? And their eyes is on the prize. You know what is the prize? The treasury, the power. And it's we the citizens who giving them the power to advantage us. So now is the time to take back the power. Trinidad and Tobago, now is the time to take back the power that we would have given to these people that would have been neglecting us over the years. And they are continuing to do it, and they are laughing in our faces.
Exactly. Because we divided.
Now is the time. Election come in. And come January, you're going to see them in front of your door, trying to convince you. You understand me? But whoever comes, tell them they have to come damn good. Because we're not taking that. Enough is enough.
Exactly.
Enough is enough. I have had it up to here. Too much of people crying out for mercy, crying out to this PNM government, and they're turning a blind eye. All kind of crimes taking place, and nobody want to hear nothing. You know why? Because the citizen is not their interest. But what they fail to realize is we who put them there, and it's we's going to get them out. Imagine that all what I would have gone through, I would have never thought in my life I would have had to turn to the opposition leaders for help. These people helped me, the UNC, Kamala and her party. These are the people that helped me when I wanted help, when I was in need, when I was fearful for my life and my family life. And I turned to my government, my PNM government, for help. And as the, what's his name, this Rasta guy? Oh gosh. Fitzgerald Hines said, the government is aware of all the citizens' complaints, and they are aware of the videos on social media. So I am sure that my videos, even with Crystal videos and other videos that went by, other complaints that went by, they were aware. And what did they do? Nothing. They did nothing to help us. And I must continue to vote for them. I must jump up on the streets and say, great is the PNM, when most of the time, and sometimes I don't even have money to go to work. I can barely even pay my light bill. I can barely even put food on the table. And I am a government worker working on a 2013 salary. I can safely say I am not suffering, but I'm on the verge to suffering. And this is the government we have in power. This is total madness. At the end of the day, they will say what they want about the UNC. I do not care. Who stand up with me is who I am going to stand with. Sink or float, I am sailing with the boat. I am going yellow. And who wants to join me? Only come on board. Because the Canadian government is doing nothing for us. I don't care what they say. They're not doing nothing for us. People suffering, people dying. Blood washing the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. And they say they have crime under control. They're saying that they have crime under control. What crime they have under control? Look at what Dr. Paru would have said. They have law, it have stiff laws for officers that committing crimes. And what's going on in Trinidad? They could kill you by the wayside. Anything could happen to you. And it only lasts in 3 days, 9 days, 7 days, or 21 days, and then they forget about you. As Mr. Rowley said, who dead? Dead. So this is the country we live in. And if we can have a prime minister who could address his government like that, the citizens like that, that is not a prime minister that cares about you and I. Trinidad and Tobago, all they need to wake up. We need to wake up. If they want to stay in power, they have to show us that they deserve to stay in power, whatever government that comes. But right now, the UNC showed me. I don't care what nobody say. They show me that they have my best interest at heart, and I am with them. I don't care. I ain't looking for friends. I ain't looking for nobody to jump on my bandwagon. I alone know how I felt. There was a lot of sleepless nights. There was a lot of fear in me. And when I looked to the commissioner, I wrote letters to the prime minister, to the Fitzgerald Hines, to the prime minister. Nobody take me on. And you could have heard them come and gun down my house. They could have killed us. And that doesn't mean to say they will stop. Who came to secure me? And I want all your Trinidad and Tobago, bear in mind, when the neighbor house on fire, work all your own. Because if it could happen to me, it can happen to all you too. And this is the government all you want to protect all you. This is the government that all they want to protect all they have to be mad. And then they come up with this property tax. They want to tax the daylight out of you. They're coming up with all kinds of laws to take money from the poor man. So we must be living under dictatorship all our life. Look at what the doctor would have said happening in Venezuela. They don't have to pay for water. They don't have to pay for the tax. Look at the situation with Ms. Crystal, where a magistrate would have passed an order with, you know, long time is to have people going around your house and investigating on certain matters before the judge can make a ruling. Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't have that again. And I am sure if that judge would do her homework, I'm not bashing her, if things was a different way and they would have done proper investigation.
Candice, you're going easy on people with me and bashing. At the end of the day, if the judge do stupidness, they do stupidness. And you understand? And we have to let them know that we in a country now where the thing had to change. It had to change.
They don't have no humility, and that's the thing what the doctor is saying. Where is your humility? Where's that? Where's that?
Yes, the government has been taking the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago for granted for many years. And we are the type of people, we like to fetch and party and sweeping under the carpet. And it's that they've been banking on. It's that they have been banking on all our lives. And now is the time we the elders have to put a stop date for our generation to come. Because if we don't put a stop date, it is going to continue and continue. And you think Trinidad bad now? In our children time, it's going to be even worse. You think it's we? You think it's we the citizens have it like that? It's the ones in authorities who have Trinidad and Tobago in this condition. Because the poor man can't bring in the guns. When people go missing for body parts, Who dissected the body part? Me or you? Come on, man. I ain't want to go into that. It's the government of Trinidad and Tobago to have Trinidad and Tobago like this. And that's my final say. Who don't like me, bite me.
Huh. Crystal, I know you're on the line there. I mean, where you want to say, because we are going to play back this story with you on Thursday. Or we might even give people a marathon tomorrow. We are going to play
back.
What
we have to do, Mr. Renaissance. We are going to see, you see, the thing is this. As I keep saying, they keep the tend to stay quiet and hoping that this will go away.
Exactly.
But you see this story, my story, and I pray God that plenty other people who would have had stories like this come forth.
Come out.
And let us run it until down to election. And let us see what will happen. Trinidadians like to see things before their very eye. So let me bring it real for them.
So we're saying that we're going straight down to the election with this.
Right. And although we're voting for the UNC because the UNC have a vote, they too have to watch the back. Because we're not taking foolishness. Shape up or shape out. Enough is enough.
That would have been my inheritance that I would have to hand down to my children. No, my children lost their inheritance. What are they trying to encourage here? What I have to give to them? They lose something that my great uncles and grandparents, this was handed down to generation and generation. Everybody get their piece. That was mine that I had to hand down. So this is not encouraging crime. And the next thing too, the people who like to come in the comment section and say whoever comes to the mind, right? Think about yourself for a minute. If you're lying on your bed 6 o'clock in the morning and you hear a knock on your door and you see police come to you and say you have to come out of here now or you have to give me a car or your van because X by Y by Z the case. You'll be in total shock. You'll be traumatized. Your children traumatized. You're sleeping. You're minding your own business. You don't go in the neighbor house. You're literally minding your own business and that happened to you. That could happen to anybody.
Failure on the justice system part.
Exactly.
Right? So the justice system isn't standing firm in the corrupt. What's going to happen to us? Just people that walk in the street, big brother, and killing a man. People are studying to go in the station and make report again, you know. The citizens they're taking matters into their own hands.
Teacher or a principal take your father gun and went to school with it. And the principal called her back in the office, apparently was molesting her, and she shoot him and kill him. When they questioned her and they checked the cameras, he was molesting her. She didn't tell anybody nothing again. She just went and take matters and she was about 5, 6, 8 years old. And this is a child. I can imagine how hard that was for this child to be going through that and how much more she complained too. Before she took
again, the justice system has failed. And it's failing terribly. It's about time Trinidad and Tobago. It's about time all they wake up. It's about all they quick to say the people before party. So what going on there is now is party before people because apparently the people don't have say. Apparently all they don't care about the citizens, all they care about is the vote. It's about time things have to change. And Trinidad and Tobago, if we don't come together and fight for a change, not physically. Don't quote me, not physically, I'm not inciting crime, but we have to put our foot down. There are ways and means we can put our foot down and get change without violence. And now is the time to do so because they're clearly showing that we have a government that doesn't care about us.
Law or something happened to you and you're just frightened to talk, not talking is not the answer. The more Don't see what God is saying, get away with this. Criminals watching. If he gets away with this, somebody else will do this again, and this will continue, but they have to stop here. They have to stop here. That is bullying. That is bullying. That is bullying, because you can't want somebody stop. You can't go and raise a matter against somebody. He tried to destroy my character. He lied on me. And by chance embarrassed my children because we was by the road. We was by the road in the pajamas.
All right, Crystal, let us save some for next week, for Thursday. So Trinidad and Tobago, this platform is for the people. This platform is not just for a certain type of people. So this is for every and any citizen of Trinidad and Tobago that has a problem that needs their voice to be heard. That is what this platform is about. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to call in, because we will be opening up the lives. Let us communicate with you. Now is the time to talk freedom. We are asking for freedom. We are putting our foot down. Enough is enough. Now is the time to push back.
Freedom, 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 freedom. Now we are right now we signing out. I know a lot of you would have like us to go on a little longer, but most of you all have to get up in the morning or you have to go to work. And we, at this point in time, we have to sign out. The steaming me so much. I don't want to go neither, but we have to go. We have a time frame in which we're going underneath. Because it's like if a fire just light inside of me and think, we have to go. We have to go. Candice, we have to go. There are certain things that we still have to play. You understand in the end there for you to see that there is a conspiracy game that is taking place with Venezuela, and our future is inextricably linked to what is taking place. I ain't gonna call it carnage, but to what is taking place right now in Venezuela. So as I saying, thanks for listening. Many of you that would have joined us here live this evening, I mean, come on, I didn't just come on this dial just so something lead you here. Take the next step, be a part of the team. We have some massive chats and things going on all over social media. We have some massive WhatsApp groups, massive Telegram groups. Join us, call the number, message us. You want to come into the group, you want to be a part of the panel. Message us, as I say. And Saturday is Bacchanal Saturday, where we will be talking about relationship issues. And during the week is straightforward and raw talk. Again, Candice, I know what you want to say in closing. Stella, I don't know what you want to say in closing, but let me close off.
All right, again, Trinidad and Tobago, it is always a pleasure to be on the Workers' Rights platform. And a friend tell a friend, and we will build in numbers and we will communicate. Now is the time for us to regroup, push one head, so that whatever government is going to take in power, they will know that this enough is enough. The citizens, we can't take no more. We don't have space to take no more. We're crying out for mercy. So join the program on a Tuesday, Thursday, and on Saturday from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Right? And feel free to call in, let your voice be heard. Do not be a stranger to this channel. We need you and you need us. Together, we stand together for justice. We stand together for positivity. We stand together for fairness on this program. Thank you very much, guys.
Well, people, now what we are going to do here is going back. We'll do a recap, go back into the video in which we would have just played for you from the starting. And we will show you that this thing here is really a conspiracy here that is taking place in Venezuela. So we're going back into this video here, in which you will see for your own self. You make your own analysis, because a lot of people had many things to say about what is taking place, but we're going to show you what takes place on the ground from the heartland of the thing.
qué? Porque saben que hay allí un país que decidido avanzar. Óiganme bien, esto es muy importante. La nuestra es una lucha cívica y pacífica. Cívica y pacífica, pero no es débil, no es dócil, no es sumisa. Nosotros no caemos en provocaciones. La violencia está allá porque es el único recurso que les queda.
Mr. Edison? Okay, so I think we can log out now and you can join me on WhatsApp.
Okay, no problem.
Update of what's going on in Venezuela. So the Venezuelan military are breaking into houses and taking innocent people, taking them away to torture them so they can declare that they were paid by Maria Corina Machado and Edmundo Gonzalez, which are the leaders of the opposition, being Edmundo, the new president elected by the Venezuelan population. They are taking innocent people to torture them so they can declare that they were paid to go and protest and do the things that they did. What they did, they just went out on the streets to say that it was a fraud and they were protesting as any other citizen. So they're just taking random people to torture them. We don't know if they're gonna kill them if they refuse to say that they were paid to do that. We do not know how long they're gonna keep them in there. We do not know how long they're gonna torture them or how far they're gonna get, but I want you all to know that this is a dictatorship. This is not like, oh, Venezuelans are not standing up for their rights. Yes, Venezuelans are standing up for their rights, but we are being killed. And when I say we, yes, of course, I am not there, but I am Venezuelan, and it hurts me seeing, hearing people, my friends, my own friends, telling me this and this and that one have been captured by the government or by the military or by the police and they're being tortured right now. They don't have the right to hire a lawyer, a private lawyer. They do not have the right to do that. They're assigning public lawyers to all these people. They are going to trials, and they have to confess and they have to make up lies and say that Maria Corina or Edmundo pay them to do the things that they did, which was basically going and vote and then protesting because Maduro committed fraud. So I do not want to hear anyone telling me that Venezuela is not under a dictatorship. If this is not a dictatorship, then you come and explain to me what is a dictatorship. They are killing and torturing people because they went out on the streets. So for those of you that were asking, which I know I still have a big community that was actually supporting me, but the few that were asking why Venezuelans don't go and defend their rights, well, we did, and we've always done it. But here what happens, this is what happens, just Google it. Google what is a dictatorship. You don't have rights in Venezuela. If you don't have money to pay people to take you out of jail, you don't have rights in Venezuela. How is it fair that you're breaking into innocent people's houses and just take them away and just torture them and God knows what else doing to them, and then you don't even allow them to hire their own private lawyers? How is that fair? In what country that happens? In what free country that happens? In what country with democracy that happens? None. Venezuela is under a horrible dictatorship, and they're just taking off their mask now. And it was always like this, but it's always been hard for the Venezuelans to explain to the rest of the world how this works, because we don't have a way to actually show you guys what's going on other than our own word. And I know it's hard to understand how is this happening. I know it might be like, well, but this sounds like a movie, and I wish it was a movie. I wish it was just a very torturous movie to watch, but it is not a movie. It's the reality of my country, and that's what's going on right now.
Venezuela's current president, Nicolas Maduro, says that he wants to fight Elon Musk. It all began because Nicolas Maduro blames Elon Musk of tampering with the elections in Venezuela and the chaos that it has created in this country. Of course, these two have history. Elon Musk has often criticized Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro. He also has said that Nicolas Maduro looks like a donkey. In a press conference, Nicolas Maduro sends a strong message to Elon Musk. Come at me, Elon Musk. Just tell me when and where. We'll do it the old-fashioned Venezuelan way. We'll go to the alley. Well, Elon Musk has responded, and this is what he said. I'm coming for you, Maduro. I will carry you to Gitmo on a donkey. Maduro actually believes that Elon Musk is going to go to Venezuela and kick his ass because he has told his security people not to allow Elon Musk anywhere near him. The funniest part about this whole thing is listening to Nicolas Maduro pronounce Elon Musk's name. It's hilarious.
Okay, there is some truth on what you say. There is some truth in it. But I am going to try to make a long story short. Long story short, when Chavez started his campaign 25 years ago, he was very smart, and he started his campaign with poor people. And what he did, he promised them that they will have more money, that they will have more things, that they will have free things. And of course, that poor people, that people from the low class, which was still a majority back then, didn't know any better. So if you come and you tell me, hey, I'm gonna give you things, and this is gonna be for free, you're gonna get a house, you're gonna get this, and you're gonna get that, and then you start to make up a whole bunch of things about how the states want to destroy your country and blah blah blah. This is all what that people knows. Like, he literally went and did his campaign in the most poor spaces of Venezuela. That's how he got their hearts and stuff, because he promised things that were gonna be for free, and then he did his best to prove to them, to show them that he was empathizing with them, because he was coming from their same world, and he used to have this kind of hate against like company owners, business owners, saying how selfish they were. And this part of the population absolutely bought all that, because they didn't know any better. Like, you need to be smart, you need to know, you need to study to be able to differentiate like many things. For example, you can't be upset at the private sector because they're actually generating jobs for people, but that's not what they wanted. They wanted the free stuff that Chavez was given to them. So yes, there is that. So back then, when he won fairly, there was that. After that, he just started changing laws that will allow him and give him more time and more power to decide on his own about certain things that should be decided by the whole country. So yeah, at some point, that's true. At some point, people went and voted for Chavez. When he passed away, I still believe with all my soul and heart that they did something, and that's how Maduro won, because actually it was so bad. I can only imagine the amount of votes that the opposition got, that they couldn't really move the numbers anymore. And let me tell you, Maduro won with a 50.61% of votes, and Enrique Capriles, which was the leader of opposition, lost the elections with 49.12. After that election was when we realized and we understood we need to go, we need to leave, because clearly these people in power, they're just gonna do whatever they want to do, and we don't have the right to protest against it. I don't know if you guys follow it, but then a few years after we went out on the streets, they were actually, I want to say they were in here on TikTok, but they were actually people, there were videos about it, there were videos that went around the world, nobody intervened, nobody did absolutely anything. So yes, at some point in 2016, the massive migration started, because after seeing those things happening, after seeing young people being they also put them in jail and stuff like that, then all the rest was just scare, because what else can you do? You are against the government, against a government that has guns, power, the police, all the people that's supposed to protect you is literally against the population and doing whatever they please. So how can you confront them and actually do something about it? Actually, you can't. They have the power of literally everything, absolutely everything. There is I don't know what would be called in English, the National Electoral Council, for example, that should be a neutral team that will actually handle the elections and all the process. Well, guess what? It's not neutral. TAF actually changed all the ways and all the machines and all the system and how it works. So it was, after that, it was never just neutral. It was always part of the government as well. But anyway, I could keep talking about this for hours and hours. So let me just cut this video here, because I've been talking about this about 5 minutes already.
Did Maduro win the Venezuelan elections? They call Maduro a socialist dictator, but the opposition is controlled by the American CIA. The CIA was supposed to rig the elections in favor of their US puppet candidate, a right-wing feminist woman, but they failed. This comes after a string of other failed CIA operations, including several attempted assassinations that didn't go as planned, such as the one on Slovak Premier Robert Fico, for example, who survived. I'm beginning to suspect that the CIA's diversity and inclusion hiring has deeply harmed their operational capacity by putting colorful people before skill and ability. It forebodes a larger collapse of Western power as we continue to favor the inclusion of incompetence at all levels and in all branches of society. It turns out you need to be superior in order to defeat your enemies. Venezuela has about $12 trillion worth of natural resources, such as oil, and the USA needs all of it to wage Third World War. As it turns out, the tanks and bomber jets and even drones run on conventional fuels like diesel or kerosene. Wars are not going to be climate neutral. This is really interesting because the reason we have to go to war is that all the great empires around the world are running out of cheap energy, and armed conflict is only going to accelerate the rising energy costs. Maduro, of course, has the support of the BRICS bloc, led by China and Russia. And if the results of the war in Ukraine are anything to go by, more mass immigration is not going to save the West. Western leaders have decided to sacrifice supremacy in favor of inclusion, only to discover that you don't win wars with pride parades. The West has to confront a self-inflicted competency crisis by hating on its best men. And it's only a matter of time before these more competent men of the West jump this sinking ship and go their own way. Why fight for a country that hates you?